advantage. One thing he said is fighting on the inside. His quote was, "We're going to see if Tank is really an inside."
Do you want that rematch next? And if so, how likely it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year?
I'm not sure.
Recently, Gervonta "Tank" Davis revealed who his next opponent would be, and it has taken many by surprise. Davis has decided not to fight Lamont Roach, even though the WBA lightweight champion had earlier mentioned he would be very busy in 2025. Just a short time ago, he confirmed that Roach won't be his next challenge. Davis also spoke about another fighter, the same one he had mentioned after his last fight. This opponent had even come to his locker room after the match.
Well, what is?
You might see it in a minute. You definitely might see it in a minute.
Many people are still uncertain about who Gervonta Davis's next opponent will be, but he has made it clear that Lamont Roach will not be the one. This decision has caused some fans to lose trust in Davis, leading them to question his character. Some believe that Davis sees Roach as a serious threat and doesn't think he can defeat him, which is why he's avoiding the fight. There's even a feeling among some that if a fight were to end in a draw by mistake, it would mean Lamont Roach would have won the fight fairly.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not going to be next.
Well, what is?
Gervonta Davis didn't deliver the knockout that many fans expected in his recent fight at the Barclays Center. In fact, the bout, which was for the WBA lightweight title, ended in controversy. During round 9, Davis appeared to be hit on the knee, and he went back to his corner to wipe his eyes. However, the referee didn't call it a knockdown or disqualify Davis. The fight continued, and the final result was a draw, which surprised a lot of people. As of now, Davis hasn't joined Matchroom Boxing or Top Rank, both of which are managed by promoter Eddie Hearn.
Oh, crap.
You said that you have your opponents mapped out. So who are the opponents for the final stages of your career?
Not to cut you out.
Gervonta Davis has only fought twice since being named the face of boxing. His first fight was against Ryan Garcia in 2023, where he defeated Frank Martin. Before his fight with Lamont Roach, Davis was placed under house arrest and later arrested after pleading guilty to traffic offenses related to a hit-and-run accident. Now, Davis has made it clear that he wants to be more active in 2025. His goal is to fight more this year, ideally 3 times. Roach will be his first opponent, and after that, Davis says he'll figure out what comes next.
It's just like,
Anyone in mind that you're thinking about after Roach?
Nah, not yet. I'm just trying to focus on him right now. And then once we get him out the way, then we can,
And Roach continues to talk to Davis, and you're right. Davis is taking...
If Gervonta Davis plans to fight again this year, it's unlikely that he'll take on the top contenders or belt holders in his weight class. Instead, he might try to pull the same move he did with Lamont Roach and set up a fight with a lesser-known opponent. However, it's possible that Davis could surprise everyone by aiming to unify the belts. After learning the hard way that losing to a champion is better than losing to an average fighter, Davis might choose a bigger challenge. If he decides to unify, Shakur Stevenson could be a strong opponent. Fighters like Vasyl Lomachenko and others will likely be expecting him to step up and face them.
If you won this and that's your last fight, or still some more heads you gotta put on the wall.
Yeah, it's definitely some more heads.
Among all the possible matchups for Gervonta Davis, fans and the media have dreamed of a fight between him and the undisputed super bantamweight champion Naoya Inoue. The appeal of this fight lies in the fact that both are incredibly skilled and have dominated their opponents in their respective divisions. However, it seems unlikely that this fight will happen considering several factors. Inoue, a 4-weight world champion, is coming off a win in January against Paul Butler. There have been reports that he could face other top fighters in his division, such as bantamweight champion Junto Nakatani or contenders like Murodjan Akhmadaliev. For Davis to fight Inoue, he would need to move up several weight classes, which makes the matchup less likely.
Sure, but that's definitely in the back of my mind always. Like, just me training, I'd be like...
Talking back, okay.
This is where Roach has to be careful getting off of his game plan.
Al Heyman, the manager, has shown interest in a potential fight between Gervonta Davis and Naoya Inoue. However, Davis has said in a 2023 post that he wouldn't take on Inoue, mainly due to the weight difference between them. He also recently posted and then deleted a message on social media saying, "I'm the only fighter everyone wants to see in the ring with everyone, no matter the weight." As of now, it seems like this fight is just a fantasy. Not long ago, Davis also mentioned wanting to face Vasyl Lomachenko, the former lightweight champion and current IBF title holder. This would be a fight that brings together two big networks and makes a lot of sense, but it now seems as unlikely as the Inoue fight.
Or they asked for me to fight or something like Lomachenko, and he was like, he retired type of vibe. I don't know why I keep saying.
He got to his head already. By him answering back, you know that's
Shoulder thrust.
Boxing fans were close to seeing a fight between Gervonta Davis and Vasyl Lomachenko in 2024, but talks recently fell apart. According to ESPN, Lomachenko decided to take the rest of the year off. His manager, Aegis Klimas, told ESPN that Lomachenko isn't feeling motivated at the moment and just isn't in the right mindset to fight. He wants to spend more time with his family. For Lomachenko, it's not about money. He's looking for something more. The 37-year-old Ukrainian boxer defeated George Kambosos Jr. last May to win the IBF title, but since then, he hasn't pursued any new belts or shown signs of wanting to return to the ring anytime soon.
And he was saying that I felt as though like he didn't really like, they were saying that he was scared of anything.
The IBF has recently given Vasyl Lomachenko an ultimatum, saying he must face the winner of an upcoming interim fight between Raymond Morales and Zor Abdul. If Lomachenko decides to return to the ring, he will likely face the winner of that matchup. However, it seems unlikely that Gervonta Davis will be part of that picture in 2025. Davis fought Lamont Roach in a controversial match, winning by majority decision. The fight drew attention after Davis took a knee in the 9th round, but no count was given. Had the round been scored as a knockdown, Roach could have won the WBA lightweight title. Roach's lawyer even sent a letter to the New York State Athletic Commission requesting an investigation into the matter, as reported by Dan Raphael.
I don't think that's the case. I feel as though like he reached that point where as though it's hard for him to get up for a fight. You know, I feel as though like he.
One thing you can say about Roach, he has never looked in better shape coming in.
Gervonta Davis's actions during his fight with Lamont Roach raised a lot of questions, with many people believing that he may have retired or quit the match. Davis walked to his corner and appeared to hesitate, which many saw as a sign that he was done fighting. Roach is confident that the New York State Athletic Commission will agree with the millions of viewers who believe he was the true winner. Roach's team argues that the victory could be awarded to him either through a technical knockout due to Davis's actions or by disqualification if Davis brought something illegal into the ring. However, a decision has now been made. According to Lance Pugmire, the result of the fight will remain the same. The New York State Athletic Commission has decided that the bout between Davis and Roach will officially be a draw. As more details emerge, further updates are expected.
More so like he's older now, he got kids too. It's more so about the kids now, I feel. Like, you know?
Even though the result of the fight hasn't been changed, a rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach is still a possibility. Davis has made it clear that he's ready to take on Roach again. The lightweight division is packed with well-known names and rising stars, and now that Davis holds a title, many fighters will likely want to challenge him. Davis has stated that he's open to fighting anyone brave enough to step into the ring with him. Davis has also made history by becoming the second member of the 2020 and 2021 U.S. Olympic boxing team to win a world title. He follows O'Shaquie Foster, who claimed the IBF junior middleweight title in November.
But you fixed that!
Chess still being played between these two.
It was a Valentine's Day to remember for Kessan Davis. The New York native knocked out Juan Baroni in the 4th round to claim the WBA lightweight title in front of a packed crowd at Madison Square Garden Theater on Friday night. The week leading up to the fight had been tense, with Davis accusing Baroni's team of sending a racist package to his hotel room. Despite the drama, the fight itself was a one-sided affair. Davis, at 25 years old, dominated from start to finish. Baroni was never really in the fight, whether it was due to the size advantage Davis had or the clear gap in skill.
For Tank Davis, the top guy, I would go for the top guy. If I could choose, I would choose Tank Davis. I would knock Tank short out. Tank is a great fighter. Hats off to Tank. I'm not even about to just do it.
That body with the left hand, into the body again with the left and the right that time. And now,
after securing his spot as the mandatory challenger for the World Boxing Organization title, Baranchyk made a statement in his most recent fight with a powerful second-round knockout over Gustavo Daniel Lemos. Following the victory, he immediately called out Gervonta Davis. Baranchyk grabbed the microphone and, naturally, Davis was the first name he mentioned, but not the only one. "Hey, Gervonta! Knock knock!" he shouted, signaling that he wants the fight. The tension between these two has been building for a while. The lightweight rivals have exchanged heated comments on social media, and there's clearly a real rivalry between them.
A great fighter, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows that you got the power, you got the skill and ability, he's patient, you know what I'm saying? But I know who I am. That little short can't touch me.
Kessan Davis has made it clear that he will never fight Shakur Stevenson, explaining that it's a personal decision. Davis's trainer, Brian Bulk McIntyre, has done an excellent job of promoting the potential fight and is extremely confident that Davis is the one who can finally defeat the WBA lightweight champion. McIntyre believes that Davis's style is a perfect match for Shakur, and he predicts that the 25-year-old puncher will deliver a beating similar to what Terence Crawford did to Errol Spence in their July 2023 fight for the undisputed welterweight crown. Kessan agrees with this comparison. He said, "I see myself putting the same beating on Shakur as Terence did when he spoke with Topor." He added, "I feel like his style is a great fit for mine. I'm young and I don't think the fight will go the full 12 rounds, but I'm prepared to go the distance if needed."
I'm coming with that same shit he coming with, and he know that. His coach Kenny, you know, got a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? So to go fight from Cuba. No, nigga, I don't.
It's like that Mike Tyson effect. You walk to the ring, dead man walking. For Roach, though, familiar.
"I'm smarter than him, both in and out of the ring. Honestly, I'm just smarter than him, period," Kessan said. "The only thing people remember is that one punch. I have power, and I've knocked out fighters with just one punch, but he's only done it 3 times. We know he has that one punch, but we don't yet know what I truly have. I've only had 12 fights, and I've really only been fighting at a top level for 3 of them. This fight with Baroni will be my 4th, so there's still a lot to learn about me. I'm better than I've ever shown so far." Kessan also mentioned that he sparred with Gervonta Davis twice during his amateur days, which only boosted his confidence further.
Like, Tank, stop mentioning other people when I mention your fighter. What you talking about, boy? Like, don't play with me, bro. Y'all know how I'm coming. Tank, if you wanna fight, send me a contract, bro. Tank, you know.
"I wasn't thinking about fighting him when I was training with him," Keane said. "The first time I sparred with him, I was 16, and the second time I was 21, just before heading to the Olympics. After those sessions, I thought, okay, I just went toe-to-toe with one of the best pros, and I have the skills to go pro and be dominant. Those were intense sparring sessions. I've always been good, even as an amateur. People would always say, 'You've got to fight Kessan.' I didn't turn pro and then get noticed. I was already well known before I made the Olympic team. I've always had the talent and the ability to fight."
Scared posted those messages about me sparring. I'm really looking at it like, okay, so what? I DM'd you.
Like that Mike Tyson effect. You walk to the ring, dead man walking. For Roach, though, familiarity.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis seemed confident when he claimed he sent a contract to Shakur Stevenson, accusing him of avoiding a fight with one of boxing's biggest stars. However, it appears that Tank may not have been truthful about sending the contract. Stevenson's team has denied receiving any offer from Davis. The WBC lightweight champion, who is defending his title this weekend in Saudi Arabia, stated that no contract or offer of any kind has come from Davis's team.
Or Matchroom. Gervonta said, quote, "Ninja sent him a contract. He went elsewhere." End of the quote. Now, one of the PBC.
A few months ago, Shakur Stevenson made it clear that the story about a contract being sent by Gervonta Davis was completely false, calling Davis a liar. Both fighters had previously mentioned a verbal agreement for a potential fight, but there's been no written offer. Recently, Stevenson's co-manager James Prince spoke out, saying that Davis's claims are far from accurate. He stated that there's no evidence to back up Davis's story and suggested that Tank should double-check his sources. According to Prince, there's absolutely no truth to what Davis has said.
That Espinoza is lying. And recently, like yesterday on Cigar Talk, Shakur came out reacting to the news that Gervonta.
Ring, dead man walking. For Roach, though, familiarity. They've sparred a lot. Yes,
Shakur Stevenson has been clear about the situation, insisting that he's telling the truth. He's ready to seize any opportunity that comes his way. But as for the claims of Gervonta Davis sending a contract, Stevenson believes Tank might be misinformed. He's firmly stood by his statement, saying that the contract was never sent. While it's not typical for Davis to lie, we'll have to wait for more updates to get to the bottom of it. On a more positive note, James Prince, Stevenson's co-manager, shared that discussions for a potential fight between Davis and Stevenson are still ongoing. Stevenson's profile has certainly grown after his fight against Jamel Herring last year, which drew a peak viewership of 1.2 million people. This makes a Davis-Stevenson fight even more attractive for both sides, given its potential to be a major draw. While both camps are interested in making the fight happen, nothing official has been put in writing yet. James Prince confirmed that no offers have been made or contracts signed, just talks. Despite all the back and forth about the contract, Stevenson recently shared his thoughts on Davis, acknowledging that this fight could be a historic showdown if it ever comes together.
I'm a real person. Like, I'm not going to go up there and act like Tank is not a good fighter. I think Tank is a hell of a fighter. I think he's special. What he does with his talents is amazing to see. I love the way he boxes. But truthfully, same way he asks, what have I...
The world of boxing thrives on rivalries, and few matchups have created as much excitement as the potential fight between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis. These two have been going back and forth for years, exchanging jabs on social media, but have yet to meet in the ring. The tension keeps growing, yet somehow, the fight remains just out of reach. Stevenson, the WBC lightweight champion, recently reignited the conversation by dismissing Davis's resume. He said in a recent interview, "I don't really care about this stuff," but his words seem to tell a different story. Stevenson added that he doesn't respect Davis's resume, pointing out the terms Davis sets in his fights. Stevenson understands why Davis does this, because he's smaller than some of the other fighters, but he still doesn't fully respect it. As for a potential fight between the two, Stevenson believes it could be one of the biggest in boxing. He said, "I think he and I could have the biggest fight in the world, so I think it has to happen, but it's all up to him." This isn't the first time the 27-year-old has criticized Davis's opponents, saying, "You're taking the less skilled fighters and putting them in the ring with yourself, making them look as though they're on this level when they're not." The two have exchanged insults for some time now. Just last year, Davis called Stevenson an easy fight, while Stevenson warned that Tank would face a rude awakening. This exchange, while not new, has only added fuel to the fire for their long-anticipated clash.
With Lamont Roach, but do you feel like you guys could fight 2025 or 2026?
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't into chasing people around. I mean, if he's willing to fight, I'm ready. I know
score on Davis, but Davis defending and sticking his tongue out. Under a minute.
The highly anticipated fight between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Shakur Stevenson never materialized. Negotiations fell through, and Tank Davis quickly blamed Stevenson, claiming that Stevenson avoided the fight. Davis even took to social media, posting, "I sent him a contract, but he went elsewhere. Get off my chest, you B-meter." However, Stevenson didn't take that lying down. In an interview on Cigar Talks, he shot back, saying, "In my life, Tank's a liar. If he sent me a contract, tell him to post it. Post the contract he sent me. That's what I want to see." Recently, Davis has been more vocal about his plans to retire, which makes it less likely that fans will see these highly anticipated fights before he steps away from the sport. In a podcast with rapper Lil Yachty, Davis admitted he's more likely to take a break from boxing than retire completely. "I've been having those thoughts, but I'm changing my mind," he shared. "I want to get myself together. I really want to focus on myself, not quit, but take a break. I already made a promise to all my people, and there's stuff I need to work on, like being there for my kids, going to school, and building myself up as a person." Davis's comments came after he left fans confused and concerned during a press conference for his upcoming fight with Lamont Roach. He muttered, "After next year, I'm out of it, out of the sport. I can tell you my fights, it's over after this year. This is trash, garbage. I'm out. I'm fed up with it." His frustration was clear, and it seemed like the end of an era for the fighter.
I had already made a promise. I had already made a promise to Al, like, we out of it type of thing. But it's like, I could stick around and just, I will help people. And
"I'm just focused on getting my money and getting out of the game. I'm really fed up with everything, not just the fighting, but everything that comes with it. I have kids now, I just had a son, and I don't want to keep getting hit in the ring. I'm thinking about building my real estate business and stepping away from the spotlight. I just want to make money and stay out of the way. That's it. I want to live my life without always being in the public eye."
But as far as like me competing, I don't really want to do it. It's like other stuff I need to work on, you know, like being more there for my kids, going to school, you know.
In terms of action, but the war of words is heating up. All right.
Despite Gervonta Davis's talent, he has faced consistent criticism from the boxing world for having a relatively light resume. His most notable win on paper came against Ryan Garcia, but the rehydration clause in Garcia's contract has led many fans to question the legitimacy of that victory. Moreover, Davis has yet to unify his titles with a reigning world champion. While Tank has claimed world titles in 2 different weight classes, super featherweight and lightweight, he will need to take on the top fighters in these divisions if he wants to solidify his place among the sport's all-time greats. For all the latest updates on boxing news, events, and action, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our new content. Until next time, peace out.